Father Peter here. We're up on the Temple Mount, up on Noble Sanctuary. I want to just give you a sense of the distances and a sense of the place. So here in the distance, we have the Mount of Olives. If you go up to the top of the Mount of Olives, on the other side of that is Bethany, where Jesus was with Mary and Martha and Lazarus. And at the top of that is where Jesus got on the donkey to come down for the Palm Sunday procession. You can see a road that cuts down the Mount of Olives, and the way of the Palm Sunday walk is very close to that road. There's also a little church, I don't know if you can see it through the glare. It's called Dominus Flavit. It's the place where Jesus stopped and wept over Jerusalem, Dominus Flavus, being the Lord wept. He came down here through the Kidron Valley, that's the down below here, and then up on into the steps, up into the temple. Now let me just show you what we've got here. This is actually quite something. In front of us, of course, is the Dome of the Rock. Imagine that is where the temple was during Jesus' day, the temple that is built over the top of the stone on which it was said that Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac. You'll notice, I hope, up on the left, to the degree that you can see that, a kind of grayish dome that is underneath the big piece of machinery there. That grayish dome is the central synagogue for the Jewish section in the Old City. It's also very close to where St. Mark's Church, where the upper room was held. So if you might imagine that Jesus moved from the upper room and then down through the temple and out into the Kidron Valley and up into the Garden of Gethsemane. Here, I want to show you another thing too. So we're just below the Temple Mount. The Temple Mount's up here on my right, the Noble Sanctuary. And I want to point out this school in the distance. You can see the school where the windows are all quite close with one another. That is the place where Antonio's fortress was. Antonio's fortress is the fort that Herod the Great built for his friend Antonio. But it was the place where Pontius Pilate would have stayed when he came up from Caesarea to pass judgment upon Jesus. There is the place where the trial of Jesus took place. There is the place where Pilate sat on the judgment seat and then eventually washed his hands. And it is from there that the first station of the Stations of the Cross takes place. It's now a school these days, but in the hearts of devout Christians throughout the land, it's the place of Jesus' judgment.